Well, hello there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you already know, this is your U.S. General 5-drawer tool card with side tray and deep compartment. Today is Sunday, as you can see. We now back over at the storage unit, getting back to it, getting busy as always. All right. Unfortunately, I did not necessarily cover the weather report this week, and I had an intent to finish up some modifications that I need to complete to this U.S. General 5-drawer tool cart. So unfortunately, I'm going to save the modification to a later date of this week, all right, until things clear up. So within this particular video segment right here, what I would like to do is give a little informative information to some of the younger technicians and individuals out there that's looking to get their feet wet in the automotive field. And, they may not necessarily know what they may need coming into the field, all right? I will be breaking up some of these videos into different segments because there will be a lot that I will cover, when it comes to the equipment, and I don't want the videos to stretch out, too long, all right? But I ain't gonna hold you up in the introductory of things. But as I always state, as usual, I always keep my signature lingering somewhere in the background. My Dunkin' Donuts coffee. You already know. Okay. So pretty much I'm about to get some contents out to the top of the tool cart. I'm not going to go, within the chest itself. I'm going to go to my second lineup of equipment, all right, that I keep separate from this box. And I'm going to use some of the items as an example, all right. So it's not going to technically be about the brand or anything like that, but I will be using a tool truck brand to define and to show certain particular things, just as well as I will also explain to some of the younger technicians and younger individuals when you're stepping into the field and say you get a tool truck account and things like that, because they will, pop up at your shops and things like that. And if you're unfamiliar, I'm going to give you a little insight, to when you're on a truck and how you make your purchases and things like that. All right. So let's get it. Okay, for the moment, this is the brand that we're going to be taking a look at. So I'm going to get quite a few items out and we're going to dive right in. All right, at the prior moment, I just pulled out, just a few sets. I didn't pull out all sets that are actually needed, for this particular video, but you will get a good idea, an example, all right? When first coming into the field, depending upon what type of work you may be doing, I would suggest that, you start with your metric sizes first. In some cases, not all technicians and all mechanics use SAE standard. There's a lot of 6-point metric and a lot of 12-point metric that's being used. But once again, that's determined what type of work that you do and which you are working on. If you're multi-versatile and you work in other trades just as well as how may I say, the automotive trade, there will be some standard sizes that may be needed, once again, depending upon what type of work that you may technically do. All right. So what you're looking at sitting over here at the top of the tool chest, these sets are snap-on. Okay, so if you're just coming into the game, these are not sets that I suggest that you just jump out the window and go purchase first. I suggest that you look for a good quality full general service set that will provide metric, standard. In some sets you may get deep, semi-deep, shallows. You may get a ratchet and a universal joint and some extensions and things like that. So I would suggest that you move in that direction first until you start stepping things up and whether you're going to want to be in the field for a while. And once again, depending upon where you may work at, you may come across where they may have a tool truck dealer that may come to your shop that may provide a certain credit line and things like that, whether it's a Mac, a Cornwell, a Maco, or a Snap-on. All right, but when you're first starting off, depending upon what type of work you would like to start with your metric sizes, and what you would like to do is get yourself a nice set of 3/8 drive deeps, semi-deeps, and shallows. At the prior moment, I have a set of 3/8 deeps and the semi-deeps. I didn't pull out the shallows at the moment. Okay, just as well as over here towards the center, you want to get some 1/4 inch in deep, semi-deep, and shallow. In some instances, you can get you can go with the semi deeps sometimes over the deep, depending upon what type of work that you do. But in most cases, um, according to what type of work that you provide and services that you provide. Me personally, I actually have all three, from deep, semi deep, and shallow, for quarter inch, just as well as 3/8 drive and half-inch drive. Over here in this set, I just pulled out a simple set of half-inch drive sockets, just as well as semi deep. So with all sets, I didn't pull out the shallows, but just to give you, just the idea that it would be three sets. All right. So, I would start off with a full general service set, that provides a lot of these particular sockets all in one blow molded case, because each of these sets are very expensive. Anybody who knows Snap-on, they know, it's a arm and a leg. So, if you're dealing with a budget, you really may not get but so much, for $1,000, $2,000, and things like that. With $1,000, $2,000, you can get a whole lot of equipment that may possibly be needed. All right. When it comes to certain specialty sockets, I will get into specialty sockets in another segment video. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at some of the impacts sockets just as well, because depending upon what type of work that you will be doing, you may not always be required to just use chrome standard sockets. More than likely you may have to go to impact sockets. If you were to ask me what's the best bet of what you should invest in first, I would say your impact sockets first rather than the chromes. Okay. All right, so now moving along into some impact sockets. Once again, I'm not pulling out everything, for this demonstration, but I'm just pulling out quite a few things so that you can just basically get a good idea. All right, what you're taking a look at up here, these are Snap-on 3/8 drive. All right, these are shallow impact sockets. Okay. Just as well, back here is your 3/8 drive. You have your 3/8 deeps. When you're on a tool truck, all right, and you're new and you're a little inexperienced, when you get on a tool truck, you will see a lot of different equipment. And if you don't technically have the proper understanding, it's important to know what you'll be working with and what you'll be looking at. All right, to give you a good prime example, all right, how you can see that this is a shallow impact set, right, and it's a 7-piece metric. And if you can take notice to the measurements, it says 10, 12, 15, 17, and 18. Don't get a set like this confused, right, with a set that's like this, okay, which is an 8-piece metric shallow impact socket set, quarter inch from 8 to 15 millimeter. The difference between the two, this is 12 point, okay, and this is 6 point metric. So there are different standard sizes. The same thing for SAE standard, where you will have 12 point and you will have 6 point metric sockets and standard sockets. All right. Now, if you're on a tool truck and you're just looking at single sets, like some of the sets that you see provided sitting at the top of the tool cart, and you don't know much about what is called BOGO deals, I always suggest that you get the best bang for your buck in your BOGO deals, all right, because you'll come out, a whole lot much more better. If you have a good tool dealer, will point out the BOGO deals to you, and then you may have some other tool dealers that will take a look at you, and if if you're not aware, yeah, they'll sell you just one single set, okay, that may cost an arm and a leg, where to the point where you could have possibly got two sets for the price of one. All right, or if not for the price of one, slightly a little bit much more, okay. And in a lot of particular times, you may possibly be able to get like a set of sockets like this with a ratchet. So now that cuts the cost of you buying a particular ratchet separately. I'll give you another a visual to something like that when it comes to BOGO deals. Just give me a second. All right, so these would be some good prime examples of some BOGO deals and things like that that you may see when you're on a truck. all right, where you see how you buy one and you get one free and things like that. Just go to show, like how I was saying, how, at times where you may not necessarily have to buy a ratchet separately, you may be able to get a set of particular sockets with a ratchet. All right. When it comes to items like these in the beginning, some of your specialty sockets are something that you may not possibly need right away. All right. And there are cheaper options out there, especially when going in the route of the tool truck brand, like when you're first starting off. But if you get your feet wet and you know that you're going to be in the field for a while and this is what you want to do and your heart is in it, then you're going to want to start stepping up your grade of equipment. But these are the things that you want to take a look at. All right. So just to give you a good example, like quite some time ago, a while back, as you can see, this was a 3/8 metric set right here. All right. And it came with a multi-position ratchet. All right. During that time, I didn't technically need the ratchet, but I actually needed these sockets. So instead of me picking up just this set of sockets on the truck, fortunately, I was capable of obtaining, the multi-position ratchet, even though, I didn't necessarily need it at that particular time. Give you a part number. The part number is kind of worn off or in the box, if you can take notice to it. All right. So that's just to give you, an idea of some of those bogle deals that they actually have out on the truck. All right, especially when it comes to some of your sockets and things like that, because a lot of this stuff is very expensive. All right, this is all from my second line of equipment, because I do actually have 3 different defense lines of equipment. Like when I'm shooting the videos, you basically only see my service card and what I would have normally worked out of my service card. A lot of times I get comments in the videos like, your tools is clean and things like that. They don't really realize that this is my 3rd service card. The tools that are in the service card are upgrades themselves from my past cards, as I've been actually making transitions and, stepping things up. So this is why you've always seen a lot of different equipment and things like that. But, for those younger technicians out there coming into the game, I suggest that you go in the way, like when you're on a tool truck and things like that, look for the BOGO deals. Don't try to get out and kill yourself and drain your pockets, with single individual items. All right. Because they will get very expensive. All right. So this set that you're taking a look at here, this is a 12-piece metric semi-deep impact socket set. All right. Just as well as the one that you get is another 12-piece metric semi-deep socket set. So the set that you're actually getting free is the continuation measurement sizes. As you notice down towards the bottom, this is 8 to 19 millimeter, and then you have the 15, 25, and 27 millimeter when you start moving into your bigger sizes. All right. Now I can go towards the back, right, underneath this stack right here, and then I can show you, the extra bigger sizes that come along, which are more enough like axle sockets sizes and things of that nature. But depending upon what type of work that you will be performing, these are not items that you would need right away. You would need these items as you go along, and the more experience that you acquire, within the trades itself. So these is which more bigger sizes would look like right here, from 29 millimeter, 30 millimeter, 34, and 36. Okay, which you can also see is a 5-piece metric deep impact socket set. So everything that I'm basically showing at the prior moment is all metric. I didn't pull out anything SAE standard, nor did I pull out the shallow sockets of most of the majority of these drive sizes, which is 1/4 inch drive, 3/8 drive, and 1/2 inch drive. This is a 1/2 inch drive set right here. All right, so you can get the part number if you need the part number. All right. So now we're going to move along in this video. Let's get it. All right, now continuing on, when it comes to impact sockets, all right, these are what are called swivel impact sockets. All right, what you're taking a look at down here, these are 1/4 inch. All right, and as you can see, running from 15 millimeter, 8 millimeter to 15 millimeter, excuse me. All right, and back up here is your 3/8 drive set. All right, when it comes to these 3/8, they have, I believe, three different sizes. You have your shallow, your semi deeps, and then you have your deeps in the 3/8 drive. And then back here you're looking at the 1/2 inch drive set. Now these 1/2 inch drive sets are quite expensive. If you're just now getting into the field and you're just starting off, you're not going to necessarily need these particular sockets in 1/2 inch drive, okay? Because more than likely, if you're just starting off and you don't have, you know, a lot of time on a job or a lot of experience, it's less than likely that you'll be doing particular work that may require these 1/2 inch drive swivel impacts. And if so, you do happen to come across, you may be fortunate enough where that a master tech or a higher technician in the shop who actually does have this equipment can possibly allow you, you know, to use the socket when needed, as long as you return it and, you know, you don't damage things and things like that of that nature. You have some good individuals out there that will give you a hand and help you. And then, you know, once you use something once, twice, three times, if you got to use it three times, you technically need it, because everybody gets a paycheck, you know, like one another. So this is why it's important for you to invest in yourself and invest in some of the equipment if you work in a particular shop that does not require or provide certain particular equipment to you. All right, so this is not a suggestion that I would advise that you jump out the window to take a look at first. Okay, how you see them in this order, you know, this is the order that I would suggest that you go in, whether it be the 3/8 drive first, and then you, if you know, if needed, pick up the 1/4 inch, or you just start with the 1/4 inch and then move to the 3/8. You don't jump here first. Okay, because like I stated, you know, this set between the metric and the SAE standard, you know, that's going to run you roughly about $1,000. Okay, so you figure seven sockets is 500 and some change just for this particular set. All right, so you know, with each of these sets can run you 200 and some change, almost $300 for this set, and you know, another 200 and some change, close to $300 for the 1/4 inch set, because the 1/4 inch set could be expensive also. There are other alternatives out there and other brands that, you know, you can find that are least expensive but do have you know, excellent quality to them. So, you know, it's not all about the Snap-on brand and things like that. So as you can see here, I have, you know, a Sunex set right here. This is a less inexpensive set, and it provides more sizes, you know, than this particular Snap-on. All right. So you looking at a set here that is a little less than $100, testically, compared to a set that ranges roughly about $300, if not better. All right. So just to give you the part number real quick for the Sunex set, and as you can see, this set has absolutely no skips, running from 10 millimeter to 19 millimeter. All right, in the Snap-on set there is an actual skip, I believe. What is it? Yeah, as you can see, there are skips in this 3/8 drive set. So that's another thing, you know, that you want to take notice to, all right, when purchasing certain particular equipment. All right, everything is not all about the Snap-on brand and things like that. I'm only just using some of this equipment just to give you know, a good idea and a good visual. All right, there's many other different brands out there providing just as, you know, good quality tools just as well, you know, with good warranties and things like that. So like I was stating, like there are other alternatives out there, like how you see the Tecton brand, and you see, you know, they have their sets with absolutely no skips, and then they have, you know, good warranty, replacement lifetime guarantee, and it meets NSI performance standards and things like that. Just to give you a part number on this particular set right here. All right, this is a 3/8 drive. So just, you know, just to give you an idea, because there are other brands out there, also tools, Tecton, Gray Pneumatic, Astro Pneumatic. There's so many different brands out there. Proto Professional, SK. All right. So be smart, do your due diligence when it comes to some of these things. Another thing is, you know, get yourself a good set of impact extensions, 1/4-inch chrome extensions, half-inch drive extensions, 3/8 drive extensions. And my suggestion, I will go with the wobble pluses. The 1/4 inches is the 3/8 is good. All right. In a set like this, when it comes to the impact extensions, you want to get a set, as you can see how it has a universal swivel adapter. Okay, separate. You don't want to get a set that comes with just the impact extensions without the socket, because you may possibly need this socket, and to purchase this socket separately may cost you roughly about $50–$60. Okay, so that's just another thing to point out too. So when you're on the tool trucks, do your due diligence. All right, so they have all sorts of different these are your regular normal standard 3/8 drives. These are not your wobble pluses. All right, but these are your wobble pluses here. Okay, so anytime you're looking at the part numbers and you see the WP, that represents the wobble plus. All right, so when first starting off, you may not necessarily need sets like this, all right, which are Astro Pneumatic. These are impact socket sets. These are called nano impact sockets. All right. These are mainly more used in more precise, detailed work. All right. In most situations, when first starting off, and like I stated, you build on your half-inch drive, impacts, 3/8 drive, and 1/4 inch. All right. More than likely, when you're first starting off, you will be doing simple light work. But when you start stepping up your experience and grade of work, it will be at times that it will require for you to have some other different type of specialized sockets and different specialized measurements and things like that. But these are particular sets that you can get for reasonable prices. All right, which won't kill your pocket too much. All right, so just to give you some part numbers real quick, these are made by Astro Pneumatic, and these are metric. All right, so this is a 14-piece set, and that's a 15-piece set. All right, we're gonna end this video right about now. We're already 22 minutes into the video. It panned along a little bit more longer than I expected it to, but it is what it is. All right, so into that next tool review, that next tool haul, that next modification video, everybody enjoy the rest of their evening and the rest of their weekend out there. Keep it a safe and a blessed one as always. Peace.